See, I'm going to ask you these 5 questions, okay? 5 questions. You see if you can answer these questions. Okay, these are the questions. These 5 questions changed my life, and I'll straight away get into these questions. Number 1 is how much money you want to make. It's a very simple question. How much money you want to make per month, per week, per day, and how much money you want to save. Okay, I'll not answer the question. First think. I'm pretty sure you'll get 10 million, 100 million, or I want to earn 100,000 per month, or I want to earn $1,000 a day, whatever it is. Okay, fine. First is how much money you want to earn. How much money will keep you happy? Okay. The second question. Let's assume you're working for a company. You worked for a company 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. One fine day, they throw you out. Okay? You worked for a company 5 years, 10 years, 8 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, every day. Never took on off. Put your own time, money, effort to develop the company, whatever, in that position. One fine day, they throw you out. Okay? Then, now what can you show to the world? The only thing you can show is, you can talk about it on the CV, which everyone does. But then, do you have anything to show? Okay, second question. And then the third one, okay, which you can say is the second one. When you go, you have to apply for another job. It's like begging. Please, sir, give me a job, sir. Please. Please, sir. I want a job to prove myself. There are 5,000 candidates. You have to put your CV and hope you get called. And then once you get called, okay, you have to literally convince him. You have to beg him. You have to plead him. Please, sir. Please give me this chance. Oh, I'm good. I'm hardworking. I just always think like, fuck, isn't it embarrassing every time you have to go? And that also, maybe the guy is his personality is like your shoes. Looks like a dog. And you're like, yeah, I'm hardworking. Tell me something about yourself. Give me your strengths. Give me your weakness. You get shitty questions. Like I got this fat fuck of a female who said, okay, sell me this pen. I want to take the pen and put it up your ass. What are your goals after 5 years? What are your, where do you see yourself after 10 years? Where do you see yourself after 20? She wanted to know every 10 years. Isn't it embarrassing? Okay. Next one. Let's say you're in Europe, or you're in Dubai, you're in Denmark, or you're someplace. You work there 5 years, 10 years. Some problem happened, visa, or you're working in USA, some problem happened. Okay, you lost your job, and say, go back to your country. Now you're in India. All your contacts, all your connections, all your friends, everyone is abroad. Now you're in a new place, back to your home country. Nobody knows you here. Nobody knows you professionally. Hi, how are you? He's my uncle, he's my aunt, he's my neighbor. Okay. What do? You have to start from zero all over again, right? Okay. Next one. When you work for a company, okay, you have to get up on time, correct? You have to fight through the traffic. You have to report on time. You have to report to the boss at the meeting on time. You have to tell the boss where you went, what you did, where did you go. You know, some of the bosses act like they are your fucking mother, father. Where you went, what you did. Like as if, sometimes I have to think like, what the fuck is this? Like, in my 20s, is he my father or mother? Where you went, what you did. I want a report. Go fuck yourself, man. It's like, are you a fucking, I just ask myself, am I a fucking man or am I a fucking kid? Where you went, what you did? Yeah, because they want immediate results. So they think they are your boss. And then, if you don't behave yourself, if you don't give me the reports, I'm going to give you a termination. I'm going to give you a warning. Fucking threaten you. I know one Punjabi guy, because the chef threatened him, I'll fucking kick your ass and this and that. This guy was so hot-blooded, he kept quiet in front of the staff. It was a 5-star hotel. Sat down and waited in the basement. when this head chef checked out, grabbed him by the fucking this thing. Motherfucker. Okay, you called me? Son of a bitch, you called me, all this Hindi. Now come on. Let's see what you got. The far guy was, hey, what did you do? That's another comedy, man. So, you're like a fucking slave, man. It's like some jail fucking... Okay, agreed. When you're your own boss, you have your own business. But here you're doing it for somebody else. And last but not the least, the last biggest question was, you gave your life to this company, to this brand, to this product. You developed it. You put your creativity into it. It is your baby that you... It's like having a child. You watch it grow and now it's successful. Just imagine how does it feel if somebody else gets an award for this. If somebody else gets credit for it. If somebody else gets praise for it. If somebody else gets promotion for it. And you're nowhere to be seen and nobody is talking about it. How does it feel? Painful, right? Just imagine you have a child or you have a kid. And your own child, somebody else takes the credit. Oh, like for example, my daughter, she becomes a successful, let's say, entrepreneur or athlete or something. And somebody else, some other relative says, oh, I took care of her. I bought newspaper, focuses on her. They talk about her. I wonder who's come. Why is my dog barking? There's some delivery guy. Delivery guy? Wait 1 second. Delivery guy or... No. 1 second. This is always the case. You got somebody or another coming here. Delivery guy. Sorry, guy. Okay, so we have a delivery. Give me a second. Maybe I'll forward this. It's part of my life. I think my wife is having a shower. Okay, so what I was saying was, just imagine, I spent all these years with my baby, my little one. She grows up, I take care of her, I nurture her, I educate her. And finally one day she becomes a CEO of a company or a famous athlete or celebrity. But now when I see the newspaper, they are writing down someone else's name. The aunt or the wife, and there's no mention about me. Nobody talks about me, nobody mentions about me. In the media, nothing about me. Newspaper, nothing about me. In fact, I'm not even recognized. Okay? There's no mention. Even society. Now, even the child doesn't acknowledge. Don't you think you will feel something? I know most of us would say, no, Loy, I'm raising the child without any expectation. But we are human beings. In the same way, when you're working, you put your heart, your soul into a project, into a company, and you want it to become great. But when it doesn't become great, when it becomes great, and then one day you are thrown out or you're asked to leave, and then you see the fruits of your labor being enjoyed by someone else, doesn't it bug you? Now I asked you these 5 questions. Okay? I want you to think of the answer. I want you to think of each and every question and figure out an answer. And then you'll understand why I moved into personal branding. Why I decided to brand myself. Why I decided to make all these changes in my life. Okay? Why did I not want to work for a company and, sir, please, sir, take my CV, or have a boss, or work for a corporate world with all dumb idiot fucking dorks who I can't get along with? Why did I decide to be my own? person. Why? Because at some point you're like, what the fuck, man? I'll tell you this. I don't know about you, okay? I can only speak about myself. I'm not even going to speak about famous people, and I'm just going to talk about myself. I just knew I had only one fucking life. Just one. I was not going to live my whole fucking life doing what I didn't want, being with who I didn't like, being in a relationship that was useless. That's why even marriage is why I got divorced. So, if something is not working out, if something is not up to the mark, whether it's a salary, whether it's a position, whether it's a company, man, when the fuck are you going to change, man? See, if you are happy, just keeping quiet, putting your head down, I'm not saying there's anything wrong in that. Not everyone can take a bold entrepreneurial move and, successfully change everything. Maybe you'll have the guts, maybe the courage. But maybe you don't have the strategy or the brains or the common sense. It's a very rare combination to have everything perfect. That is why we have only very few 1% people whose names we know as billionaires or whatever. Self-made. But for me, I had asked these questions many times. And at some point I said, fuck this, man. I need to change. So it came down to the 5 questions. And the 5 questions were, number 1, how much money do I want to make? I don't want it dependent on anyone. Number 1 was money. Number 2, I didn't want that if I dedicate my whole life to a brand or a project or product or service, one day when they throw me out or I have to leave, I have nothing to show for. That's why this Loy Machedo, I decided to work for Loy Machedo brand and I carry it everywhere. Number 3, whether I'm in India, see, from UAE, I went to India. From India, I came back to UAE and then I came here to Thailand. Wherever I went, my brand followed me. But just imagine if you are working for someone else's brand, you change your residence or even your city, and after you resign, finish, no? Game over, right? Like after being in UAE or UK or US for many, many years, when you're sent back, you start from zero, right? Nobody knows you. But here, I have my brand. I can show. See? Number 4, freedom. Yes, I have to follow a discipline. I have to follow but it's my choice. See, now I'm getting up right now. My biological clock, my body is getting up at 2 in the afternoon. And I'm sleeping at 6 or 7 in the morning. It's my own time. I choose. Unless, of course, there's a very important appointment, which is once a while. I have to change my biological clock, my sleeping patterns. So I have the freedom, right? I can choose what content I like. I can choose what to write. I can choose who to deal with. I can choose if I want the client or not. I can choose my rates. That freedom is there. That power is there. And yes, the freedom to be with my family. How many people are working somewhere, wife is somewhere, child is somewhere? What's the use of that fucking life? And last, if not the least, all, we give our heart, our soul, our complete self to one purpose. If tomorrow that project or purpose or that vision becomes successful and there's no mention for you, it will hurt. That is why so many parents, after their children become successful and they don't recognize them, they completely destroyed. For me, my brand, Loy Machedo, will remain as long as I'm there. And nobody can take credit for it. Nobody. Same thing with you. If you have invested time, effort and money for your brand, nobody can touch it. But you're spending your time, effort and money for someone else's brand. Tomorrow when you're unemployed or you change your job, who will recognize you? Who will remember you? Who will talk about you? In fact, who are you? There are so many people who after they lose their jobs, they lose their identity. They lose that position is gone. and then nobody talks to them, nobody wants to deal with them. So many people at very high positions. When will you face this reality? I'm sure you know this. Now, this is why I chose personal branding. These 5 questions. And this is what changed my life. So, I don't know. I've given you these 5 questions. I'm not trying to convince you for anything. You answer these questions and you decide which direction you want to take your life. And whatever answer you give, I'll tell you, you're right for you. Let no one else decide for you. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright? Let me sign off. Shall take care.